So Dr. G.D. Biji is the Vice Principal of our college. He is an active member of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell. So actually today morning we had a webinar conducted by the Department of Zoology in association with the IQAC of our college. So Dr. Biji was the person who coordinated the webinar. So that was why there was a small delay, and I'm happy that he has joined us. And principal and the correspondent are busy with another program. So actually morning they were with us in the morning webinar session. So now I don't want to take much time. I would like to invite Dr. Biji to welcome together. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Respected resource person, Dr. Rachna Rastroji, beloved correspondent advocate Rajadurai, and principal Dr. Paul Raj, and IQAC coordinator Professor T.B. Thomas, IQAC members, professors, scholars, and my dear students. Warm good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of our college, I extend a very sincere welcome to all of you present in this webinar. Nessamani Memorial Christian College was established in 1964 to provide quality education. Beginning with a few courses, our college has gone on to provide not only graduation courses, but post-graduation as well as PhD courses. Now the student strength is about 3,800 and 188 teaching staffs are working. In this unprecedented COVID situation, departments of our college, along with IQAC, organized 15 webinars successfully. Today, this season 6 webinar is organized by IQAC. Now, 110 members are participating in this webinar. I welcome our correspondent, Advocate Rajadurai, and our principal, Dr. Paul Raj, for this webinar. They are supporting and encouraging our staffs to organize such a webinars in this period. Today, they are not attending this webinar due to management meeting. I welcome today's resource person, Dr. Rachna Rastroji, freelance writer, corporate trainer, and former associate professor, GSFC University, Gujarat. He herself was an academician moved as a corporate trainer. So today's topic, the skill gap from academics to corporate, is more suitable and interesting.
Thank you.
I welcome you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Next, IQAC coordinator, Professor T.B. Thomas, is doing a wonderful job in this season for arranging such webinars frequently and successfully. I welcome Professor T.B. Thomas and all other IQAC members. Participation of every individual is most important for us and gives us immense joy. I welcome all the professors, research scholars, and students for this webinar. I wish to thank and congratulate each one of you present here, as without your support, it would not have been possible for us to arrange an event like this. Hope you all will have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the nice words as welcome address, dear Dr. G.D. Biji, the Vice Principal of our college. And now I don't want to take much time. We'll go into the session. So let me, before starting the session, let me just say a few words about Dr. Rachna Rastogi. If I have to talk about Rachna Rastogi, I have many pages with me, papers and papers. I have a big biodata and big lot of details about her. But I'm sure I cannot spend more time on this, and she has asked me to make it very brief. So as the Vice Principal has already said, she worked in GSFC University, Vadodara, Gujarat. She was the associate professor there in the Department of English. And she had a lot of responsibilities in the university. She was a corporate trainer. She's a corporate trainer now, and she has resigned her job in the university because of some other reasons that she has to move to another place. And she's actively involved as a freelance writer. And she is giving a lot of training to various people in institutions as well as outside in the corporate field. And her area of interest are diaspora literature, technical writing, communication skills, soft skills, ethics and values, and it goes on. And she has a lot of degrees and her academic qualification, the kind of professional experience that she has, because she has worked in different places. She has published a number of research papers in journals and conference proceedings, both national, international, and she has a lot of research papers, chapters published in books and anthologies. I have a big list. Then she has also organized programs, attended workshops, and she is also into a lot of other responsibilities when she was at GLA University, Madura. And extracurricular activities, she had been the president of literary club. She has won a lot of laurels in competitions and all. So I'm very happy to have such a renowned person today. And I welcome Dr. Rachna Rastogi on behalf of the Neshamani Memorial Christian College, and also on behalf of the IQAC of our college and the GANL webinar series. So on behalf of all the participants, I welcome you to this webinar. Over to you, madam, for your presentation.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving such elaborative introduction. All what I can say is that I'll isolate all my experiences and try to convert it into the words or something which can be fulfilling for all the audience. I don't think whether there will be students also or only professors, teaching fraternity is there, but I'll try to assimilate everything and try to share my all experiences in just a kind of a very compact presentation. Basically, I always have, am I audible, sir? Because, hello?
You're audible, you're audible.
Fine,
yeah.
fine. So, what I think, what I've realized out of the whole span of my teaching career is that what we are dealing with the students in the academic life and what they are outside in the world, how they are performing in the outer world, in the corporate world, how they are performing, the way, the struggle they are facing. Because since 2006 till now, I have been in close contact with many of my alumni students. They keep still talking to me, discussing various problems, that what do they find, how difficulty, struggling phase they have gone through, crossed, or in achieving the milestones. Some of them are placed in very beautiful locations, very acclaimed heights they have achieved in corporates, industries, and everywhere. So what I thought of when I was thinking about selecting a topic for this webinar, though I had a lot of other things, diaspora, as you said, sir, but I think that the real need of this time is to really produce persons who can be easily deployable in the industry. As there's really a financial crunch in the COVID-19 period, there is a lot of talent, what we can say, outage in the corporates. Industries are shortlisting the candidates as per their virtues, as per the skill sets. Because of global this pandemic scenario, a lot of things have gone worse. But let me, if I talk about the previous things, before pandemic, the situation was quite pathetic. As I can share in some of the previews, global landscapes which are rapidly changing now were also changed in that period. Skill needs constant updation. While we are falling short of bridging this gap with corresponding to the corporate dynamics, there is a major misalignment between employees' skills and employer expectations. Knowledge, 80% only of Indian graduates, engineers are means they are not getting jobs as per the skill set, as per the degrees they have honored, degrees they have earned. McKinsey's report says that engineers in India are actually 1/3 of their quarter is actually employable. Similarly, engineering education is mainly theory based. This is, herein lies the main idea, because most of the time you're teaching out the theory of the practical thing. Only 40% students go for the internships. Hardly 36% takes under a project, and out of the 40%, those who are actually going for the internships, only 6% are performing their task holistically. If I talk about our own subject, communication skills, or we talk about technical communication, we do teach to our students that what is technical report writing, what is right, how to the thing and write the same thing in paper. But when it actually comes of practically experimenting with the data, giving it in a very clean shape, giving it in a shape which is actually required for case studies, for technical report, for feasibility report, for making some plannings, budgeting, or for execution mode, there is a big gap. We talk about personality development. Okay, confidence is required, critical thinking are required, and analytical things are required, but how will they nurture this thing? How they can actually gain these experiences unless until they are put some hands-on practice, unless until they are exposed to some industrial hands-on practical scenario. Things cannot be changed. They need to get exposed, absorbed, dipped into the very climate, into the very soil of industry. They need to begin the vision that what is happening in the outside world. They are fresh. They are like just sprouting thing which is to be planted in an industry atmosphere, and industries are least bothered for training them, for grooming them, for developing, or spending money for their training. So there is a big gap in the skill set, what is required, and what they are seeing. I have jotted down certain points, like how can this gap be mitigated? The big question, here comes the big question, that how to bridge this gap. We say that be confident, feel confident when you are facing interviews. How the hell student will feel confident if we have not given them the industry scenario, if he is not acclimatized with the actual hands-on scenario? So certain things which I'm basically talking about, that this is the skill set, and I'll also talk about it, right? How to mitigate that gap. What are the skills and how to mitigate? Some of the things I have assimilated over here. So starting with, first of all, what is required is a curiosity. It is the first and foremost duty as a faculty to induce curiosity among the students. Appreciative inquisitiveness. Inquisitiveness is a must, but that should be very creative and initiative driven. Make them curious and try to induce that they should take initiative to enhance that thing, and how is it possible, and them case studies, by giving them some write-ups, by giving some troubleshoot case studies to the students to discuss across the table, and then let them come out with their free ideas, free opinion about the thing, so that by this we can broaden the horizons. This is another thing, that they have a very limited, they are like under the shell and happy with whatever grades they are getting. They are actually working for the grades, not for actually this challenge. It is actually the idea which we all need to inculcate. As a faculty of English, it is a challenge for us that how to creatively engage students into the creative assignments, and that also simultaneously growing the ability to deal with the emergencies, troubleshooting problems. Interpersonal skills need not to talk much about, because everybody, we are all into the same boat, sailing the same boat of grooming interpersonal skills. Skills. Why is we students are ignorant. Ignorance, and Dalai Lama has also said that all suffering is caused by ignorance. Students suffer when they enter into the industry because they are ignorant about the best practices, because the cutting edge technology they have never been exposed to. They have understood the report writing format, they have understood the minutes of the meeting format, but they have never prepared anything in depth. So they cannot talk about actually about the penetrating problem or corporate or in the family business. So another thing is letting the ego go off, because they feel a kind of a shelter, a barrier, a kind of cocoon feeling. So we should not break the ice. How to talk with the seniors, how to talk with the juniors, how to go along. Getting along with the people is the best thing, because a man is a product of his own thoughts. We create such thoughts, students create such thoughts around, no, I should not talk, I should not deal with this thing, I should not go for asking. This thing will be removed. They can actually enter into the platform where the launching pad is actually waiting for them, devoid of attachment. Buddha said you can only lose what you cling to. Sushant's recent suicide could be one of such example. We are so much clinged to the success all the time. We look for the success, we look for the competition, we look for coming over the think about the excellence, thinking for the excellence, detachment and attachment. This is very important. The moment you get into some project, own the project. And the moment you are away from that, detach it and try to utilize the same talent into some other field. So this is very frequent. As sir initially said, that why I have been shifted to Baroni, because initially we were in Baroda and now transferred. So all the best practices what I always try to assimilate here, so that I can imbibe certain new things. So, and similarly in the project, what I was dealing over there, it is absolutely upside down here. But how to get adapted into another thing, that is a challenge. So devoid of attachment, getting attached to something, clinging to something, this should be our natural practice. We should not feel worried or heavy for something. Fear of victimization, that
Madam, excuse me, the voice is breaking a bit, and I think the network connectivity is not
Hello?
stable. Yeah, yes, madam, I think.
Hello? Sir,
hello. Yeah.
yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think
Yes,
the
sir.
voice is breaking. Is there a problem with the network connectivity? I doubt.
Sir, is it now clear, sir?
Yeah, at times it is okay, and I think also another thing is, if you could make the screen full screen, it would be also participants are asking for putting the screen in. Participants have asked to make the screen in the slideshow mode. If this is comfortable, fine, go ahead. Can you hear me now? Excuse me, madam. Sorry, Madam will be joining us right now. She'll be back within a minute's time. I request the participants to kindly hold on for a minute. And in the meantime, I would like to tell you a few things. Actually, in the last season, season 5 also, we
Sir,
had.
am I
Madam.
clear, sir?
Yeah, now it is audible, madam. Fine. Go ahead, madam. Thank you.
So what I was talking about is, this is, again, another kind of a skill we need to inculcate while going for online lectures and all that sometimes. Let me make it full screen. So another thing what I was talking about is value for self-reliance and safety consciousness. Safety consciousness has to be the conduct of each and every sphere wherever we are. Most of the time we bypass the safety consciousness and take everything for easy. Recently also we have seen some of the major incidences taking place right now. The Assam oil well gas leakage is one such example, and another recently the even what to talk about industry, even in the plane crash, Pakistani plane crash, which was a major incident which had taken place, and the major outcoming which has been discussed is the communication communication gap between the co-pilot as well as with the server. So these are some of the things which we need to be utterly cautious. We need to make safety as our first and foremost guiding principle. Let me connect it also with the COVID scenario, that see, now the lifestyle has all changed. The way to go to market, taking your sanitizer, keeping the mask and everything. So this is how we need to inculcate the same habits and mannerism into the students, be it management students or engineering. They need to be safety conscious all the time. Effective team building. I'll not talk about the Indian crabs, but it had really been there. If we talk about the industries, corporates, any other platform, name the platform, every day we see the political debates on various news channels. So a lot of pulls and pushes are there, but how to make a strong team, working in a team and working as an individual, both the things are very, very necessary. Imbibing ethical values, listening to the voice of self. We are the guides, we are the principles of our own selves. Need not to get deviated from our place, need not to get biased, need not to scare, passion, innovation, trust. If we see these are the 4 very strong pillars, even in the down times we can derive strength out of these values. So I strongly believe that what are the professional ethics and what are personal ethics, and my single answer to this question is there are no other professional ethics, because ethics is a constant practice of what we are actually in daily day-to-day life practicing, following in our daily day-to-day life. So coming on to next is, as our Prime Minister also said, Atmanirbhar India. What is that Atmanirbhar India? We have a lot of entrepreneurs already, we have seen flourishing, achieving to those great heights, which even a single person, no man can think of. Our Prime Minister itself, he was a tea vendor. Ambani was a newspaper seller. C.K. Ranganathan, I have also mentioned over here, is the one personality who has introduced the concept of none the less but of sachet revolution. He is the one who brought sachet revolution into our country. He thought of that there are billions and billions of heads to wash, and hygiene has to be practiced. So how to facilitate hygiene, how to make it reach to each and every home and hearth, that was a challenge in front of him. C.K. Ranganathan's father was an industrialist. He had started a kind of a startup with sachet, but how to practically implement this revolution was a bit challenge for him. But Ranganathan thought of making this session revolution a kind of a change which has brought laurels for the whole nation. Now everybody, initially in the beginning, I remember that chick shampoo sachet was available for 90 paisa only, which was even easily available to a rickshaw puller, to a what you call a laborer, to a coolie, to everybody. He made it available to everybody, and this is how he had made hygiene reach to each and every village and home. Similarly, now our entrepreneurs can think of making something, some sanitizer, some such kind of things, some personal protective equipments, PPEs, so that it can be very nominal in cost and can be the lifestyle of each and every, be it rickshaw puller, be it what you call beautician, or in any other field, so that it can be replicated in all the fields. Now, certain other things could be being very much proactive, envisaging the future, analyzing that what is going to be next, that should come into the minds of the students, of our budding technocrats well in advance. So being proactive, beginning with the end in mind, that what is going to be the end of the game, that with this thought only they should start the startup or their industry or even their career, that what is going to be different milestones in their career, that should be decided in the beginning itself. So visualizing, prioritizing, thinking about mutual growth. By individually putting efforts, we can never be rich. Like through this webinar, we are making intellectual growth, intellectual proprietary growth. We are making rich each and everybody with our intellect, with our ideas and everything. We are synergizing and continuously improving. This is what is to be induced among students. Instead of being cautious about the grade, instead of getting good positions, getting placed, why can't we synergize? Why can't we collaborate? Assimilative learning, collaborative learning could prove to be a better, could take our students to a better position. Able to make planning, budgeting, implementing, and execution. These are 4 very, very important assets, important tools for any engineer, for any businessman, for any, means you name the profession, it is for everybody. Be it a fighter pilot, be it a pilot, be it a doctor or anybody, planning that what is going to be my next 5-year plan, or even how to plan my whole session, how to plan my modus operandi of operating any plant. What is going to be my today's to-do list? So preparing a to-do list, followed by the budgeting required for my each and every step. How will I implement and how will be it executed? So these are very, very important 4 facets. Aligning, influencing. Be influenced by our personality. That is a very important thing. Influencing people, influencing your team, that is motivating. And for motivating others, you need initially to be self-driven first. We need to create leaders, those who are self-driven. We need to train students, those who are world in their own selves. Face-to-face conversation, art of conversing at workplace is very important. How to face, how to tackle meetings, how to answer, how to religiously get into the job, and how to give the job status without manipulating, without diplomatically giving answer. Why not to accept the flaws? Why do we feel fear of the failures? Accept your, cherish your successes, but don't feel bad accepting your failures. Learn from your failures, because when we lose, we don't lose a lesson. Learn that lesson and come up, bounce up with more energy. So this is a skill, really a skill need to be nurtured. Work etiquettes. What are the etiquettes working on a place? Now, as of now, we can say greeting has become a good etiquette. Instead of shaking hands, we took a lot of sessions on shaking hands, but now the scenario has changed. How to offer greetings with your body gesture only, with your eye contact only. That is to be practiced, and this is as per the scenario. We cannot every time teach distance, how much to be observed, because distance has new definitions now. Whole scenario has changed, and it will keep on changing. Nobody knows what is going to be the next
dynamics of the corporates. So training of the self, training of becoming mentor of yourself and guiding yourself onto the right path, righteous path, moving on ahead. And by assimilating all the practical experiences, we can really survive and can do wonders. Time management is another thing. Understanding and developing case studies. Herein lies my very purpose of telling that how can we mitigate, since we are all confined in our places. Most of the colleges are not yet open. We have a challenge of keeping the students engaged through various assignments, corporate trainings, or grooming students' personality by sitting in your office. How it is possible? Because we are not meeting face to face, so that is a challenge. So a lot of understanding SOPs, standard operating procedures, and corporate culture, that is a big thing. This I have thought of shaping the future of budding generation, providing students exposure and opportunities, being at your desktop, instilling initiation and risk-taking abilities by giving them some papers, by giving them case studies to come out with certain solutions, or to make cases, develop cases on their own, so that they can learn in the process of developing something. They will develop a think tank and will get to know that how to improve themselves. So this I'll not talk much about. Let me move on to next. Here I have found certain ways that how we can give wings to their creativity. There are a lot of students, those who are maybe in mechanical engineers, chemical or electrical engineers, but they have a passion for health and fitness. Like to Sushanta's video I was listening yesterday, he had a lot of passion for aeronautical engineering. He had a lot of inclination for the star study, and seeing some Saturn's and some Mercury's brightness, he was in a habit of creating certain paintings. Because a man is not a technocrat or a doctor by the very virtue of being born as a human being. He's a human first. So could have many areas where he is very much passionately attached to. Support to special children. Some students have a lot of affinity for the special children. So we can assign them the task that how can we support them? What are their needs? How do they perform? How do they feel? How are their parents feeling? Some are suffering from the thalassemia kind of big diseases. So in fact, right now, COVID patients, families, if we can approach to certain friends, through relatives and somebody, then what are the traumas they have suffered all across? We could collect the data. Children could collect the data, like-minded children. Yes, of course, they can collect the data, can put it in a documental form, and could be a nice research study for years to come, that how we can support them. Food literacy, we are talking about immunity booster things. So some students may take up this as an assignment. They can make awareness about the food literacy. There are a lot of people who need such kind of counseling. So make a group, create a website, and talk about food literacy. Support group for elderly people, hygiene advocacy, very much pertaining to the current scenario, social entrepreneurship. I'll talk about this. Like we have already a lot of budding such entrepreneurs, but it will be a separate spectrum to speak about. Environmental action, think tank, as I talked about. Counseling sessions are very, very important. And sometimes, we think that students can't, but they can really much better than us. They can counsel in the best way, because they are of the same age, they are of the same peer group, so they know the challenges, they know the difficulties. These days I'm seeing a lot of trolling mails and communication. Please talk to me, you are in a problem. I'm here to give solution to the problem. I'm here to listen you. So such students, those who are like-minded, can come up with some counseling sessions. They can create a big reservoir or certain guidelines. They can develop their own modules for counseling. Industrial mathematics, beekeeping. I have seen students, those who are very much interested into the study of flora and fauna, catching the birds, photography. They are interested in the soil study. So if they are mechanical engineers, are they not permitted to study about the soil? Are they not permitted to do the science surveys if they are very much interested into the social sciences? mangrove forest plantation. A lot of students take initiative to do such things. Why not to document them? This could be a brilliant idea, and believe me, see the confidence of the students, those who are involved in such small projects and those who are being given constant PDP sessions. Those who are involved hands-on will definitely be in a better platform, will feel more confident because their lifetimes, their productive hours have been invested into the study, developing modules and the sessions and exploring and talking with such people. If possible, search for some mentor. There are a lot of industry mentors, those who are retired, those who are very much actively engaged with the students project. They love talking to students. They are readily waiting for such opportunities that some students should contact me. I have a lot of exposure of industry. I need to share it with somebody. What will I do with this knowledge? So a lot of such mentors are voluntarily sending their resumes to me. If some of the students are interested, I can definitely make them, I can do the job of bridging the gap between industry mentors and the students. Free of cost, they will do the counseling. They will share their ideas. Their life stories, case studies of life will be of immense interest, immense help for the students to follow. And yes, all these things comes under the vision of English, because anything and everything that comes within the purview of English language is the syllabi for English language. Best out of waste projects, radio jockey, many of these students are coming up with the vlogging and opera, theater, creative writing, story writing, cartoonist, some of them I have mentioned over here. Birds, complete observatory they have created, bonsai making, clay art, potteries. These are such wonderful things which they need, which students, irrespective of their branches, years, or anything, they can be engaged into. I have seen a student that in the first year, they were involved in a very mini projects, say for that matter, one of my students has prepared Blue War. Blue War means fighting that third world war will be about the rain, will be about the water. This is what I still remember that my girl said, that it will be about, you know, ma'am, it will be about the rainwater. I said, no, I don't know anything, but you please make a document of it so that we can share it with the class. So they prepared a wonderful video by giving their voice at the back and showing the pictures, collecting the data, and to your surprise, the same project took out of interest, continued year until and they are now into very much rainwater management. They are providing such kind of facilities. They have developed their entrepreneurial venture for developing such rainwater forest kind of things. Not forest, but rainwater conservoirs in the buildings. Everywhere it is required, in the malls, in the societies which are being developed. So sky is the limit. Need is to motivate them. As I have mentioned in my previous slide, developing case studies, this could be a wonderful challenge for some of the students. Now, case study is another thing, is another very, I should say, inquisitive and appreciatively inquisitive thing. Involve them into developing case studies. What management students do, they discuss cases, bring the cases to the table, and across they discuss. Why can't we put our like-minded students into the developing it so that it can be referred as modules for the coming generation, for the upcoming new freshers, and they can also include something to that. So case study allows understanding of the business, about the challenges, about the troubleshootings, about the best practices, cutting edge technologies, about the failures, that what went wrong. Actually, case study is what went wrong, to study about the know-how of the situation. Study the incident or know-how of the incident comprehensively, define problem, statement or dominant issues, define the goal of the organization, that what are the what do you call vision and the mission of that organization or of that association or of the department or of the group concerned. Identify the crisis or the catastrophe which has because of which society has suffered, any industry has faced that failure, like recent gas tragedy that can nicely be taken as a case study. Like the plane crash, today can take up it as a case study. They can develop a case like COVID, like shortage of beds, or like a patient suffering the trauma a patient suffer when he is isolated, confined for quarantine during quarantine period. So developing a case study of certain data, doing why analysis, that why this trouble is. There is one, there is a dedicated tool if we talk about developing case studies, like fishbone diagrams, and making a QC report, that why it happened, what could be a probable solution, what could be another viable solution, again asking to ourselves that what could be a best solution. And this is how in the race of making why analysis we somehow reach to the exact solution, which some of these industry mentors, which even of the big shots, they cannot reach. As I discussed, that every child, every student in their own selves is a world. They are full of immense potential and capabilities and abilities to explore the world. All what is needed is to just grill that acme into it, is to just ignite that fire. And there is hell lot of opportunities open among students. Making rigorous brainstorming, critical reviews, retrospection, introspection, again, as I discussed, that asking again and again that why this situation, why, what is the outcome, why this failure, and certainly the gate of success will get open. Select the best alternative through repeated arguments, develop an execution plan, suggest the best viable decision. So these guidelines we can provide to our students. Base your case study on an issue that has a significant impact, which can prove to be an asset for the society. We should inculcate such habits, we should inculcate such scenario or such environment which can really be helpful for the societal, intellectual, what we can say, intellectual asset, which can prove to be an intellectual asset. And yes, of course, approach to some industries. They are ready. They cannot take you to the inside battery area, but of course, if we talk to certain, like Setco Foundation, I was in Baroda and I have visited not less than 70 to 80 companies along with my student coordinators, because my job was to align the classroom studies with the internships. So mostly at the outside industries will reject the proposal of giving hands-on exposure inside the battery area. But of course, with the passion, by seeing the confidence of the students, they readily give you the access to the what you can say primary gates of the industry. And even believe me, seeing the primary scenario, it will give lot of confidence, it will give lot of inquisitiveness, it will open up lot of vistas of curiosity among students, as I discussed earlier. 10 times they will fail, 100 times they will go, they will be rejected, but there will be a chance when they will be permitted to come, to take up the challenge. When some little happenings about the industries will be discussed, some of the mentors can discuss them. You can even ask for the mentors to guide them. Maybe they are HR mentors, maybe they are safety. Fire and safety has become a very mandatory department for all industries to give training or concern, initial training to all the students. They are ready to share their potential information, their knowledge, and half of the job is done because we are focusing for making industry ready students, those who have the culture of safety, those who are already prepared for safety norms. So half of the job is solved when they meet with the safety personals. How to observe safety at workplace, what are the incidences, how do you handle them, what are the PPE's contribution, how to face emergency situation, in which direction wind blows, and how the indicators at different places in industry, wind direction guiders are placed. Why, what do you do? Suppose there is a fire in a plant, what is the immediate action to be taken? They have certain readily available industry safety quizzes at their desk. So students need to approach to certain places. But yes, one thing is for sure, that initiation is there. That initiative should be there. That drive has to be there. I told, as I discussed earlier, 10 times you will fail, but there will be 11th time when you will have access to such reservoir of information. So I was talking about the case study, provide a brief overview of the case, background, that which industry, which firm, which business venture, which NGO. Lot of NGOs are running their small businesses inside four walls. That is not less than an industry. How many of us know that how the yarn is woven into the framework of that machine? Even that could be a case study. How the workers are doing in small engineering things, we are not aware. How the stabilizer is made. What is the modus operandi of a camera? How do we click pictures? Can we make a camera? Can we make certain? I have conducted one workshop on Tor 4K Jod. Consulted one industry and asked them to give us industry trash as donation. And believe me, they have donated us a lot of ball bearings, lot of unused gadgets, which can be of immense interest for the students. They can make really small engineering out of it. Recently, I have seen that somebody had prepared what you call a grinder for making grams, means they can grind the grams and make atta out of it, flour out of it. So this is a small innovation. Need not to go for the big plants, full-fledgedly running industries. But yes, these small miniature things they can create. Cooling tower. What is a cooling tower? They can make a small cooling tower. They can make a turbine of their own and make a small case study that they visited this campus, collected the trash, written down the procedure, and this is a case study that how their failure occurred. Every time success is not required. Success can never always be the outcome of any what you call a drill or any project. Let them come, let them fail, and let them learn. But need is to get them engaged. Need is to guide them. Write the procedure, write the failures, because your failure can be an asset for the coming generation to understand, yeah, this was a failure study, but that will pave way to a success study as well. Let the solution be generated from the side of the students. And sure to keep your cases concise and crisp so that they are very handy. Limited by giving very little amount of graphics and all, because what invites a reader is the crisp idea in any case, that what happened, what went wrong, what was the precautions taken, how can it be improvised, what are the gaps, and need analysis, that why are we studying this case. So these are certain things, recommended solutions, analysis, alternatives, well thought of and creatively reviewed best practices can be endorsed as results. And these best practices are mostly shared in the magazines of the industries. If you go for the Navratna companies, they have monthly reviewed magazines, and these are nicely available on the websites. Like GSFC is a Gujarat state fertilizer company, and under its CSR activity, this university was open. So it was, because it was already a corporate social initiative, so we under CSR only we have lot of limitations open. Each Navratna has their CSR, and all CSRs welcome students for their internships, because it is their moral obligation to give society something in return as an intellectual asset, as an intellectual sharing of the procedures, of the best practices, of the cutting edge technologies, of the troubleshooting things. They can nicely take lectures, sessions, but yes, the need while meeting with the industry mentors, what is required is utmost passion, passion to learn, inquisitiveness, your sincerity, your dedication, your commitment, your ethical version, your alignment between your words and your actions. The moment it got misaligned, things can go worse. So all our students, as a faculty, it is our first and foremost role to nurture this very skill and keep a constant watch that what they are doing. And the best, in the similar webinar, I have attended the lecture of one resource person. He had talked about the Google Classrooms, lot of other environment through which we can keep a constant watch over students. They can conduct a meeting, they can report, virtual meeting students can conduct, and then they can write down the minutes of the meeting and need to post on daily basis to the faculty's portal that what they have discussed, what is the outcome. It is not necessary that the outcome is always positive. It could be a failure outcome. We approached to these industry mentors, they denied. So that these small steps they can mention into the minutes of the meeting. This is how we are inculcating the culture of knowing, implementing, and accepting our failures. But yes, they are doing something on their own. They are not beating about the bush. They are not giving us fake things. That could help others who are involved into the process. As I told you, we can seek help from various industry mentors. In fact, lot of fresh engineers, those who are already absorbed into industry and they are going through internship or they are on a probation period, they are readily happy or they accept this invitation of guiding some students on honorarium basis. I tell you, those who are in Navratnas, they are happy to share best practices. All what we need to have our empty brains in terms of devoid of ego, devoid of knowing it all attitude, very cultured attitude, with the feeling of that we are the receiver and they are the giver. So and they can really demonstrate the same thing that will be reflected in their personalities later on. So this is how explain implementation part of the case studies, as I have discussed in the previous slide. Implementation part and results of the case studies that can be assimilated. Some certain cases also, as I discussed, the oil well at Bhagjan Tinsukia, 500 kilometers from main city Guwahati. It was a very major incident reported in which some 2 or 3 firefighters also have lost their life. So students can nicely prepare this case study. What happened? What went wrong? What were the communication gaps? What were the challenges? How can the same thing be avoided for in future to repeat? And at least learning something out of it. How they have handled the tragedy. This gas leakage proved to be losses in tons and tons of gases, first of all, and dollars losses in terms of financial loss. So all this biodiversity was impacted, social life was impacted, lot of environmental issues were involved. So all these challenges can be jotted down and this task can be assigned to the students. Similarly, I talked about plane crash and major fire broke out in Delhi slum area. That could be another thing which can be creative as well as societal, could be of some societal value which can impart certain guidelines for the students to come up and can readily prepare. And what I told that, like in the slide only I have discussed, any like-minded. Since the beginning of my slides, I am emphasizing onto the word of like-minded. See, if the student is interested into orchestra and theater or some Shakespearean drama, and he is pushed into the study of chemical reactor blast, definitely things are going to get worse. So allocation of job as per the like-minded groups, that is very important. There will be a team building in a proper sense. they can form a team and can really reach to the potential expected outcome, which can really prove to be beneficial and of their interest. So like-minded association is very important. And even I propose that like-minded students, not only of first year, even of second year students can be involved, third year can mentor, final year can guide them, and despite after final year, they can carry on the similar project. This will open up the vistas for what our Prime Minister said, Swabhi Atmanirbhar Bharat. Because the seed is ingrained into the soil of their inquisitiveness into the very beginning of their first year when they are the fresh entrants. And the germination is sprouted and converted into a tree after maybe 4 years. It will flourish. Maybe it will start giving fruits after 10 years. But like-minded association is very important. And these like-minded students can find out actually a proper mentor along with the help of faculty. Faculty's constant, guidance. Practice. There is a difference between values and ethics. Value is what have been taught to us in the initial years of our life, that trust is a value, care is a value, speaking truth is a value. But its constant practice into our behavior makes it an ethical conduct. So make safety, make inclusiveness, taking project, taking challenge, make this a value for the students, and the fruits of its ethical conduct will be shown definitely by the end of their educational span, maybe a 4 year or so. So what I'm emphasizing is that they are the reservoirs, they are the energy capsules. All we need to do is to tame their energy in a positive, in a clear direction, in a guiding direction, and definitely your students will be your asset 10 years later. They will never ever forget your credentials, your contributions. You will be the pillar, strong, very staunch pillar of motivation for the students. This I strongly believe. This is how all the barriers where we feel that the skills are missing, they are not confident, they cannot talk to the seniors, they are not initiative takers, they are not risk takers, they don't understand the pedagogy. All these things can nicely be nurtured, need not to go for the PDP sessions. Though I am a PDP trainer, though I am a corporate trainer, but I still, when I go to the corporates also, I have taken a lot of sessions at IOCL, at GSFC fertilizer company itself, at ONGC, I have conducted sessions, and there I have seen that if you come up with the open values, if you interact with the connection, fruits, the outcome is altogether different. When you connect to a person, personality automatically grows. Need not to have some artificialism. Be real, be original, make a team devoid of ego, team devoid of any personal grudges, working for the societal updation, working for the societal benefit, working for the social upliftment, making it a culture. Because collaborative learning, I have seen in industry, when there is some emergency in a plant, when there is a fire in a plant, when there is a failure in the shutdown period, when there is a problem in the startups, how all the engineers, how all the employees, right from the shop floor, right from the operator to the officers to the higher management, how everybody down the line is involved into the troubleshooting thing. Nobody is a layman over there. Nobody is into the confined protocols, confined role plays. Everybody comes out of the role. Yes, I can do this, I can do this. They come up with the brainstorming, what is to be done, how the thing can be sorted out. That is because their aim is collaborating. Their crisis is to be mitigated. So can't we mitigate this gap? Can't we make them aware about the best practices? Can't we take this initiative to inquire budding brains, to make your path? Nobody else will make a tunnel for you for success. You are the creator of your destiny. There are very less opportunities in the job market. You need to create your own ways. Make links, make communication, contact with the industry mentors, respect them, carry their commands. If need be, develop small programs for them, help them, assist them. During internship, don't waste your time. Productively include yourself to add value to yourself. And here comes the role of faculty, that we can guide them that how to document such thing, how to develop such cases. So that could be a wonderful thing if a faculty could give, irrespective of the students, branches, or any other thing. General pedagogy, as I discussed earlier, that what I suggest, use Gantt charts, creating Google Classroom, as it was also earlier shared, that environment, digital environment is very necessary. We need to update our information about the same. So we do use such platforms. Gantt charts is very important, of course, for quick data reviewing, for critically data analysis, making charts, pie graphs, and everything. Gantt chart is very, very important. The students should have hands-on practice working on these simulation tools, because industries will not invest for nurturing these talents. There are a lot of tools, lot of such programs available free of cost onto the websites or certain paid courses. This is the time to utilize and enhance your skill. This is a big gap. Not able to use technology properly could prove to be a very fatal thing for industries, for the budding employees, those who are looking for prospects in their career enhancement. Spreadsheets, by sitting on your desk, you can add data and can pass on to the next person, and the moment you enter, the data is known to the next person. So it is a comprehensive assimilated spreadsheet which can immensely help for the skill enhancement, for taking quick decision making, for troubleshooting, and all these keeping abreast with the situation. So such projects are really very challenging for the students to know everything in detail about it. Instruct well for organizing meetings, posting minutes of the meeting. As I told, that to be whatever the students are doing in a group of like-minded people, be it Fitness India, maybe that they are collecting the data for fitness movement, maybe for food literacy, maybe for old age homes, maybe for mangrove forest, for the birds, or for the market survey, for some chemical plant study or anything. Keep posting the minutes of the meeting. This will be a permanent evidence of what the student is doing and how the faculty is guiding. So this is actually, herein lies the very key to have the reins in our hands, where faculty can have the reins. See, you were not present in the meeting. So their presence can also be monitored, their day-to-day monitoring, their outcome can be monitored, and we can organize. That can also be endorsed for your faculty appraisal. That printout will be sufficiently speaking about your effort. As some of the faculty this time in the challenging period of COVID-19, they have that maybe the increments will be missed, and what will happen to the education scenario, it is going to get worse. No, nothing is going to get worse. Actually, this is the time where you can take initiative and can grow multifold. where you can open up the vistas for achieving heights. Actually, this is the time where you can be creative. This is the time when you can really guide through the support of technology and can really develop intellectual reservoir for your research paper and for the project of the students. Assigning roles for the project like data compiler, data analyst, communication, and financial advisor. This I have recommended when we make a team of 7 students, maybe 7 students or maybe like-minded 10 students. They can be together, they can be given this task. Okay, you do the data compilation for the Assam gas oil tragedy, what happened. Now, one will perform the role of data compiler, one will be data analyst, one will be the communication expert who will collect Now again, this meeting should be in the spirit of as if the industry employees or the industry personals are meeting. They can come up with such ideas. Somebody could be assigned the role of a CEO. Somebody could be as the general manager or area manager or the sales manager to discuss about the problem. So give them the reins, give them the ideas, make them the mentors, make them industry professionals right from the beginning. Stay away from everything because you already have the tool of awarding grades. And for grades, kuch bhi karenge. Students are after grades. But this sentiment of grade also has to be removed because this is what they are doing for their own betterment. If we can attach this very interest that this project is for your own self, this will pave the way for the industry. This you can add in your resume that you have taken up this as a project. You can mention it in your resume, and there need not to carry artificial intelligence or need not to carry your artificial personality. Your personality will speak quantum about the efforts you have put into developing that project. Their self-confidence will be bouncing up because they have done the thing hands-on on their own. They have been the part of the project. They have done it. As I earlier said also, here it is mentioned that allocate mentors if possible. This is very necessary procedure. I'm telling that for making them industry ready, it is necessary to be in touch with the industry mentors. Now, the search for the industry mentor, how to search them, go to the websites, leave a message, search for the NGOs, search for the retired professionals, search for the directors and the journals, because this is their obligation to provide hands-on internship to the students as an obligatory thing to develop intellectual capital, to discuss best practices, their magazines, their reports of stakeholders reports are shared on yearly basis, on monthly basis. Magazines are there in number available through various websites, social networking. You can connect it. You can be connected. Physical presence of the mentor is not that necessary. Whatever single statements, some suggestions, in fact, the experiences of their life, what they will share will be of immense potential, will open lot of gates of success, gates of opportunities for the students. See, we are all based on communication. Connectivity paves the way. The more we are connected, the more we are clinched to achieve success. because network is net worth. So make networking with the industry mentor. It is not the responsibility of the universities only to go and bring the placement officer. It is not the responsibility of the placement officer to go and bring the companies to the campus. You have to chase them. And here, for chasing, you should have the guts, the ability to talk, to communicate properly with the industry mentors, with the industry officials. And yes, support of faculty, minute to minute guidance of the faculty is very, very necessary. NGOs are willing to extend such opportunities for the students, and that they are waiting, but nobody is ready to accept such blessings from industries. Health surveys during pandemic can be of extreme help by taking all precautions. Health surveys can be done, students can be sent. I'm not saying, once again, I'm mentioning, by observing all PPEs and all precautions, if they can go and can collect data for various such pandemic sufferers, such sufferer families, and lot of many other things. So apart from this thing, awareness about homegrown product farming, this can be of immense, because I was getting through news channels that a lot of people are going to invest into reality segment because they are confined into the narrow walls and the societies in Delhi or in the close vicinity where they cannot breathe fresh air, they cannot go for organic farming. So this could be a very pretty challenging project, very interesting project for the students to know more about organic farming, that too into the confined places. There is going to be a boom in this segment. Vastu Shastra, this could be another very important and very thought-provoking research for the to accept for the students. They can make a case for it, or they can make a document on it, and where the interviewer will talk about that what are your hobbies. The first question what they talk about, tell me something about yourself, what are your hobbies? So hobbies need not to explain, because you are already into the pavement of developing such nice project. It will speak quantum about your personality itself. So sky is the limit. Information about hygiene, sanitation, food habits, immunity booster, health things. Obesity is a problem. Every second person, every third person is suffering out of this challenge. If you can help out, if you can make out a survey, if you can guide people in the right way, it will be of immense help. Wildlife protection, waste management, this I have already discussed in my previous slides. So I think I have given enough of food for thought that what best can be done and how the things can be more creative, challenging, engaging for faculty as well as for the students. So let me go back. Am I audible, sir? Because it is really a challenge. I'm not able to see anybody and speaking all alone in my chamber. This is really a very different experience.
No, you're audible, madam.
Actually, being as corporate trainer, I'm in a practice of delivering lecture to the audience, which is full of all the maybe employees, students, sometimes the trainees and somebody else. But this is altogether a new experience. So this is skill gap, which I think if everybody can mitigate, this will be of immense help. I'm not able to see anybody's face. I'm not able to see any participant, their nodding, their acceptance, their denial even, whether they are agreeing to what I'm saying or not. There are questions or something, but I'm going on my own as if I'm migrated to a different world. It was really very different experience. Do I need to continue with the same, or shall I?
You can take 10 more minutes, madam, if you want.
10 more minutes.
Yeah.
10 more minutes. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would like to share some of the case studies which my students have developed, actually. Let me go to the next slide first of all. See, these are the pictures I'm sharing are of Swachhata Pakhwada, which is actually observed in industries with lot of pomp and show. It is under the guidelines, also strict guidelines of Government of India to organize Swachhata cleanliness drive amongst all campuses. Of the industries to the campus, they are readily they willfully come to the campus and actually organize quiz competitions, give certain meritorious awards and everything. So in this particular slide, I have showcased 1 or 2 pictures. I could not compile much. Yes, the middle one is by the ONGC officers coming to the campus. They have delivered a talk onto the safety, first on the fire and safety, another on the what you call Swachhata Pakhwada. So they offered a quiz, given certain cases, discussed the quenched the some of the queries of the students, as this very picture visualizes. So this is how we have broken the ice between the academics and the corporate. And this is just one slide. Every year repeatedly they come up with very innovative ideas. Sometimes they conduct quiz, sometimes they conduct an open session for asking question about the placement scenario, what are the procedures, what are the options, means what are the requirements of the post, how to get placements, how do they give internship, do they give internship. In fact, some of our students could be able to win their hearts and can get the internship in ONGC itself. Some of them are taking projects on the similar guidelines. So this went a wonderful session. This is another, this is a like-minded group. As I discussed earlier, like-minded group of some students, they were very much interested into event management. They said, ma'am, we are pretty sure that we can organize certain events well, and we are very much into that kind of thing. So what I did, I gave them a task. Okay, organize some event which was in the pipeline, maybe some industries lecture, maybe some expert talk in the campus itself. So they organized right from managing the talk, contacting the resource person, taking the minutes, spreading the invitation, their refreshment, everything they did. And how they did was all documented. Make sure that whatever the students do, it needs to be documented. Then only they will realize the importance of proposal making, budgeting, that how much cost is required, how much and what will be the effectivity, cost kitni, what will be the cost and what will be the balances. So balance sheet making, budgeting, planning and execution, all the 4 steps are involved. And you can see in this picture, then I invited, this is actually me in between, and this is a HR personnel from some corporate. I invited corporate professionals to evaluate the report prepared by the event management group, to assess and give them their loopholes, that where what went wrong and how it could be improvised. So without any grudges, without any failure or success stories, they told everything, learnt many things. They are the industry experts which were invited, those who were invited into the campus. Here also, like this, in this particular slide, you can see some students were very much interested for the road safety. Vadodara is a city which is very, what I can say, crisscross roads are there. Lot of big crossroads are there, and every day lot of accidents occur due to the rash driving,
due to the due to not following the proper rules of driving and all these things, biking, honking, tripling, all these things. So these like-minded students, they were pretty notorious as well. I gave them this assignment. Okay, make a survey of the road. What is happening on the roads? Be on the roads right from the beginning till the end of the day. Whatever time you can spend, collect the data, make a report. And they had a wonderful report. And to your surprise, you can see our policemen over there. We invited the DCP, and we requested DCP Vadodara to get us somebody who can actually come to the campus and can guide our student that how they have done this survey and how further they can take it to a higher platform, which can really prove to be an intellectual asset for the Vadodara Municipal Corporation. So this is how this project was very much appreciated by the then Chief Minister also, and it came to the information of the Municipal Corporation, and everybody was involved. And see, this particular industrial what you call academics and industrial interaction is not stopped here. It went on a higher platform. They awarded marks out of 20, means whatever the assignment marks, they awarded marks to these students as well. So whatever components what we call as external component of our assignment thing, that is here in this slide by the event manager. For the event management project, marks were assigned by the HR professional. Here it was done by the Municipal Corporation Vadodara, MVC. Here it was done by the ONGC professionals. And these are very few pictures which I could get right now in my presentation. Many more such things did occur. And so for some of the project, I received Best Faculty Coordinator by IIT Mumbai also, the best faculty coordinator for this thing, because the event was tech radiance and the students made some what you call robotics out of the trash given by the industries. So they made a robo, and this robo's functioning was to clean. When the meeting starts, they give a robo, and robo cleans the surface of the table. This was a small initiative which I guided by using the trash of the industries, and of course, by the industrial mentorship. They have guided our students how to do this, how to involve into it. Sometime if required, what is needed from our side is to give a little memento, little token of our appreciation to the industry mentors that they took time out of their busy schedule. But yes, they very diligently, very humbly they accept such kind of small projects initiative, and it is actually obligatory also for certain Navratnas, for government organizations. If we go to the public sector, if we talk about public sector, go to the PWD, I don't suppose that they will deny sharing some best practices or some constraints of making bridges, making roads, what are the constraints, how to deal with the contractor, how to deal with the vendors. Some small sessions they can definitely arrange for our students. But what is needed is a like-minded group. Those who are not interested are welcome to leave the session. But those who are really interested can get the insight, can go deep into the thing, and can have the jewels of wisdom by the corporate expert, by the industry expert. So what is required? It is not necessary to invite the industry mentor to the campus. Students, by making a group, by making a proposal, by a request letter endorsed by the faculty, can go to the PWD or maybe for other departments. They can nicely approach by seeking appointment, going in a proper uniform, following all the code of conduct in a very sincere gesture. They can approach, and definitely, certainly, industry mentors will help. They are in a government sector. It is the obligatory, their moral binding to facilitate the younger crop of our nation for building a nation or taking nation to a higher platform. So another example of SETCO Foundation I was discussing. SETCO Foundation is another NGO which is, if you can search on net, it is one of the topmost plant which is manufacturing wall bearings for the what you call, there is a resistance bearing as a tool which is added into the trucks. So they are the best what you call producers of that special gadget. My email ID is there. If through that you can contact me, or students can contact me. But what I visited was the plant of that SETCO Foundation, and SETCO Foundation itself is giving what you call internship to the students. Foreign students from Tunisia, from Japan, or from other countries, they come in group for their internship to our country. They come to Baroda, stay there for 1 month, go to the villages, conduct a survey that what are the problems of the villagers, what do they face, and they reached and they really touched to the hardcore problem of that place. So what I'm just sharing in a nutshell, that what was the outcome of the Tunisian students survey through SETCO Foundation in the villages of the Vadodara was that they realized that because Vadodara, the water level, the water table is really very, very low. So it is a challenge for women folk to fetch the water from the located at a very far side to fetch water from that place and bring it to home. So what Tunisian students suggested is to put up what you call railway kind of track, a very small track using trash of the industry to make a track over which they can put their pictures and can be ferried to their homes. This was a wonderful outcome. At the outset, we all were surprised that how could these students from Tunisia can understand the problem of the Indian folk, Indian villages. And then they can come up with such wonderful solution. That was really challenging and very interesting. And that, believe me, that SETCO Foundation is still involved with the implementation of the same suggestion. SETCO only suggested this plan to the industry, and these industries, CSR is now implementation mode. They are implementing those railway small tracks, no engine required, nothing. All what they need to do is to just put small bearings and they can carry their pictures instead of carrying it on their heads. So that was a wonderful thing. Another is smokeless chula. That was the invention. Now a lot of engineering students are bringing it to practice. This is how these students did the survey, that Indian villagers, when they cook, they find a lot of smoke coming to their eyes, which can be very hazardous for their lungs because of the insufficiency of oxygen and all this thing. So they suggested a major, that was wonderful. They make a smokeless chula. So when I thought smokeless chula, I thought of doing some engineering thing, big engineering involved into it, but it was very, very simple thing. They just covered the chula and put up a chimney over the head so that the smoke can go out, which was linked with certain propeller at the end. A very low cost, very cheap and easy to make. So it is not a science rocket. Only what is required is to do deep analysis, search, survey, find out the flaws, find out the challenges, go get accustomed to the soil and get to know many more things, because challenges are way, way above. A lot of people can come up with a lot of brilliant ideas. My student itself made go-kart using industry trash. Just what you call, means lot of things what are required for making a cart. They made all engineering, tod fod ke jod kind of thing. Bahut sara, they did attachments. They brought something. They ordered also for some of the attachments, but they made a cart. And the cart was taken to Noida for competition. That is a different thing, that they could not win first prize or second, because we were working under CSR. we had shortage of funds over there. But despite the shortage of funds, just within 4 or 5 years of inception, our students could win lot of laurels. We could get lot of 3, 4 consecutively. They are the winners at IIT Bombay for Tech Radiance, and I was the coordinator. I guided them for the budgeting. I guided them for planning, coordination, implementation, execution, troubleshooting for the industry alignment. They were guiding them. Lot of students from IITs, those who have passed through from premium institutions, they are ready to guide such projects. So this can be of immense help for the students to guide through this way. And yes, I told case studies. Case studies will pave way. This is the first step to involve students and churn what we call their inquisitiveness into the project. So hands-on learning coupled with inquisitive appreciativeness, followed by execution, firm determination, leading to confidence and really making their path on their own for being Swabhiman India can really crop the harvest of entrepreneurs in our country.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session. We have got a lot of feedback in the chat box about the presentation, that it was so useful to them. Yeah, thank you. As your title said, okay, mitigating the skill gap from academics to corporate. You have taken us to the corporate arena. As you said, sky is the limit. And you have focused that students are an asset. So we truly understand that the students are assets and they are in the hands of the teachers to mold them. And I'm sure your session will help us to shift from the campus to the corporate, and the students could do well in the corporate field as well.
Let us hope so, sir. All best wishes for them.
And you have also given us a lot of guidelines for developing case studies. And your entire session was something where we could see a kind of a positive note. It was all positive everywhere. And
Thank you
even
so much.
at this time, you have stressed that this is a time to be creative. And sure, with the help of technology, we can do more during this time of pandemic. And
thank you so
much for your wonderful session.
Thank you.
It was a great session. It was it gave us a lot of information, and it is something which is rooted on your experience in the corporate field as a trainer. That was something which we gained from your talk, which is rooted on your experience. And
thank you so
we
much.
wish you many more heights in your training field as well as in your writing field as a freelance writer. I'm sure your students at Vadodara will be missing you a lot now, but I'm sure you can also engage them in an online mode.
I'm in touch with them. Happy. I do miss them, yes, of course.
So thank you so much. And if there are any questions, maybe 1 or 2 questions we can take if there are any, or clarifications that the participants need. Earlier, I found a question in the chat box. What are the tips to improve performance of weak students apart from mentoring? That was one question asked by Amal. Another question was how to engage and motivate the students for project-based learning as students are now away from institutes.
Right, sir. Should I answer to the first question, weak student? Sir, my answer would be that calling them weak would be injustice, because we are born with certain virtues. all what is missing is that we may not be able to identify their right kind of talent. See, somebody could be a good singer, somebody could be a good player, somebody can have mathematical skills, somebody could be good in numerics, somebody could be in some other field. So identifying the real asset of the student, this is the job of a humanities faculty actually, that in which field the child is very much oriented, and by assessing the interest and the capabilities of the students, we can accordingly guide them a project. As I have given one lot of in-depth guidelines, if he is community minded, community oriented, that assign them the task and never let them feel that you are weak. Make them the mentors of that particular area, and probably by identifying his strength, make the weakness his strength. Whatever in which field he is good, this is what I can say, that identifying the asset of his personality, we can really guide him or her, because one or the other hidden Zohari window, as per the Zohari window, one or the other hidden talent is everywhere in every student. All what is needed is to give them the proper environment to open up that window, to open up with that pertaining talent. Maybe he is a good orator, maybe he is a good writer, maybe that he can write well but cannot speak well. So innate talent is there, and this herein comes the role of faculty, that how to nurture that innate talent, how to open up that innate virtue of the student and productively guide them in a right. What was the second question, sir? I forgot to note.
Yeah, how to engage and motivate the students for project-based learning, because the students are now away from the institute.
Okay, fine. Away from this institute, this is what I'm saying, that lot of websites are there. Of each company, there are websites. Like I have discussed, all private organizations, all government organizations, sites are always there. Even you can go to the employment exchange site and can get the addresses of different websites, authentic websites of the industries. This is one thing that we can assign to our student, that in which company do you visualize your career ahead? What is your dream company? Go to the site of that company, get whatever data is available, make a report. Try to know that what are the requirements of the candidate, what is the modus operandi of placements, how they can be absorbed, what are they looking for, what is company's current balance sheets, what are the visions, what are the company's 5-year plans. So make a checklist of all these things and revert back. Because I know once we give this kind of project to our student, he will definitely will get exposed to a lot of best practices, lot of practical things happening in and around the industries. So in this practice of data collection, he will come to know about various new trends, and maybe that something will click and he would be motivated to do something better. So initially we can ask them, just pick up one dream company and try to find out all associated data, right from the company's turnover to the lapses, where it went wrong, and what are 5-year policies as of now. When they had startup, when they have shutdowns, where are their jobs vacated, are there vacancies, and if yes, that what are the portals. So getting all this information can really be beneficial for even for the weaker of the weakest student, and they will be interested, because making career is, once they are into engineering, once they are into the MBA, they will definitely look forward for their absorption or placement. This is something where students really get serious actually.
Thank you, madam, for your the response. I don't think we have any other question right now. I have taken a lot of time to explain everything so effectively. So once again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of the Neshamani Memorial Christian College, Marthandam, the IQAC, the members of the IQAC, the correspondent, the principal, the vice principal, and all the participants of this webinar, GANL Season 6, Day 1. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thanks to all GD Busy sir also, and I extend my heartfelt thanks to Nestumani Memorial Christian College, Dr. Pal Raj sir, as well as TB sir and entire team of organizing committee. You did it wonderfully well. There were some lacunas from my side in terms of net connectivity and all. I'm extremely sorry for the same, and
Not in our hands, yeah. Yes.
enjoyed thoroughly. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.